Good morning, guys. Tuesday. So we'll see what happens today, but looks like we're going to start with the drop in the market. Not a big surprise. Futures are down about 200 points here as of about 6:30. So we'll see what happens there because, as you guys know, it's probably going to be a roller coaster with the Fed meeting tomorrow, and then, of course, the uh, meeting, if you will, Russia, Ukraine, that whole thing I was talking about yesterday. Want to talk about this. I got an interesting email from Iraq last night, one of you guys, and it was about an hour long video of a Russian professor, I guess, if you will, because from what it sounds like here, this was a lecture he was giving to a small group of students. It's about an hour long. It's all in Russian, but there are subtitles. And I watched this last night, and it was extremely interesting, very factual, and very telling about what's going on in the world. Now, if you listen to him, it seems like he tips a little bit maybe toward the Marxist way of thinking. Okay. But the facts that he gives are extremely true, okay, for what's going on in the world right now. Y'all know this just as well as everybody else does, okay? The world is run, as he puts it, by two people, okay, or two groups, the Rothschilds and the Gates Foundation. That's it. Everybody else is a puppet, okay? No doubt whatsoever. You cannot tell me that Justin Trudeau is the best Canada has to offer, that Joe Biden is the best that the United States has to offer, that Emmanuel Macron is the best that France has to offer. I mean, France keeps going downhill. You go. Jacques Chirac was a joke. And you keep on going. I mean, Christ. I mean, we've got a cast of clowns. I mean, and you think about it, it's not the smartest person that winds up running countries. I mean, think about this. Uh, what's his name? I can't think of. I want to say Zelensky, but that's not. Uh, Ukraine. I can't think of his name off the top of my head. Just completely losing my train of thought. He's a comedian. Okay, the United States is a country that's elected Arnold Schwarzenegger as a governor, Jesse Ventura. Okay, granted, Ronald Reagan was an actor. Okay, but he was also a lifelong politician as well. Okay, so the people that are in government are puppets, and they are just doing what they are told to do. You think of the Rothschilds, you think of Bill Gates, it's like, okay, so what's everything going on? It's all about money and control. It always is. Practically every war that's ever been fought has been over economic reasons. You can kind of take World War I out, I mean, with the assassination of Archduke Ferdinand, but, why did the Nazis go to war? Why did they try to take over all of Europe? Economic reasons. They were trying to bring themselves out of, you know, a worthless currency. You look at any war throughout history, and it is to take land, whether it is for agriculture, whether it's for uh, minerals, whether it's for oil, whatever. Okay. A little bit in the late 20th, early 21st century, we've got more into wars over personal philosophy. Okay. And, now you start getting, like, you think about the Middle East. Okay. And the Shiites and the Sunnis or whatever it is. Okay, so you start getting into a little bit of these holy wars. But most everything is based on economic reasons. And this is what this gentleman talks about, is the demise of capitalism. And he's correct, because there are no more areas to conquer. And so in order for these governments to justify their existence, they have to create panic and create issues rather than continue to build on what they already have, okay? It's easier for them to cause problems and be the one that has the solution than to grow what they already have and make it better, okay? Because they don't have the kidneys to do it. Now, this whole thing going on in Ukraine right now gets more interesting by the day. And again, most of you guys agreed with me with what I said yesterday. There are a few people that think, no, we're going to be at war in the next couple of days, as one comment said. And that's fine. Everybody's entitled to their opinion. I'm just telling you the way I see it, and I've said many times, feel free to agree with me, feel free to disagree with me. As long as you do it politely for everybody, I got no problem with your make your case. That's what everything's good for. But now you look at a little curveball that's been thrown. Now, mind you, Germany's part of NATO. Why the U.S. still is, I have no clue. Okay, Trump tried to get us out of NATO, but Germany's still part of NATO. Except, economically, Germany's between a rock and a hard place right now. They're part of NATO, so they should be towing the line, if you will. That is, Russia and Ukraine need to stay separate. Not that Russia's done anything, guys. I want to remind everybody about this. Russia has done absolutely zero. There's not a troop in Ukraine. They're not firing across the border. They're doing nothing. Okay, this is all blather. There's a whole big defense buildup, okay, where you have countries shipping arms, stationing troops, whatever it is, trying to assist Ukraine on the off chance that Russia does come in, right? This is what's going on. Germany is now not allowing flights that are going over, or not allowing flights to go over German airspace or go through German airspace to take weaponry or whatever it is to Ukraine. Weaponry that Germany has sold to the Baltic states, they are not allowing the Baltic states to give those to Ukraine. I kind of find that funny, because if I buy something from Walmart's not going to tell me I can't do something with it. Granted, there's a little bit of difference in international relations. Germany could always say, we're not going to sell you anymore. Fine, okay? But this is the point. But you get to the why. Germany is completely dependent on Russian natural gas. Remember, Angela Merkel killed the coal industry, killed the nuclear industry in Germany, tried to go everywhere to renewable energy, and it turned out to be an utter disaster. Remember last winter, when Texas was going through all its cold snap, so was Germany, and oh gee, guess what? The price of power in Germany was going through the roof because they couldn't generate it because all the solar panels were covered in snow. And again, I'll point you back to the video that I mentioned earlier about the Russian historian. And he talks about the cost effectiveness of renewable energy and why it will never come to fruition. And we've all talked about this many times, okay? He goes with the ratios where I went with the dollars. So what happens if Germany now plays Switzerland in something and says we're going to be neutral? Or worse yet, Germany aligns themselves with Russia and totally thumbs their nose at NATO. What happens to Europe? Germany doesn't have a real good track record in wars, guys. Okay? They're real good at losing. Cause a lot of devastation and then lose. But economically, it's the only business in town. This is why these countries, United States, Canada, France, Germany, Russia, China, whoever, okay, need things like this. It's all economics. We've talked about many times. War is profitable, right? The fall of the Soviet Union was profitable for the Western nations. Rebuilding of Europe after World War II was profitable for the United States. We loaned most of Europe a bunch of money to rebuild. It took them 20 years to do it. And some of the European countries are still paying us back on the money that we loaned them to rebuild. Okay? That's what made the United States a superpower. Everybody had to pay us. These are the things that people don't look about. Everything that is going on is economics right now. They are trying to destroy the middle class, the Rothschilds and Gates, because economically, they want all the control of all the assets. And 9 months ago, a year ago maybe, I was talking about going back to a feudal society. This is exactly what the elites are trying to do with all of this sort of stuff. They have nowhere else to go. Okay? Economically, the only place they can get more wealth is from the middle class. The poor don't have any wealth. We know that, okay? The middle class has a little bit. You hear all the times about, the one percenters, and how much wealth they have. Do you think any of them are satisfied with that? It's, Forbes puts out that list of, the top 10 richest people in the world. You think whoever's number 3 on that list would be happy at being number 3? No. These are the ultimate narcissists. They're like, I've got to be number 1. What can I do to increase my wealth? Oh, I'll squeeze some more out of the middle class because there is no country to squeeze it out of. So they try to take it from you. They try to take it from me. They try to take it from each other as best they can. Because for them, money is power. Money is control. And this whole pandemic and everything is just another way to control. How do they squeeze the middle class? Well, let's think about Jeff Bezos, for example. Let's think about Walmart, for example. We all know what Walmart and Amazon did to the small business. Go into any little town like the one I live in or live nearby here. There's a Walmart. There is not another single department store, I'd say, where I could buy clothing, mason jars, whatever would be. The days of the Kmarts or the Woolworths or anything like that, those are gone. Walmart squeezed everybody out. Look at shopping malls, okay? J.C. Penney's, bankrupt. Sears, gone, okay? Macy's, basically everything is online at this point. There's a mall in Knoxville that was near me that was here 2 years ago. It's completely bulldozed now. A mall, okay? That's what Amazon did. They are trying to consolidate everything so there is one place, And this is what I was talking about the other day. You want to buy groceries, you get it from Kroger. That's your option. You want to buy hardware, you get it from Home Depot. That's your option. You want to buy whatever, you want to buy mason jars, you get it from Walmart. That's your option. Okay? This is what they are trying to do. People need to understand this. This is all economics. And the only way we can fight back with this is to support the small businesses and to not support the global takeover of the world, if you will, by the puppets that are run by the two puppet masters. How to do it? I wish I had that answer. But, I'm one person, you're one person. Between all of us, we're a large group. We just need to push back. That's all it is. Pinball out.